fought the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Okay, if anybody watched the new Nintendo Direct the other day, we really need to talk, because apparently Nintendo thinks we don't have enough Kirby in our lives. Yes, you heard me right. After giving us a 45-minute Kirby Direct already not that long ago, Nintendo is back again saying, surprise, here's another Kirby Direct. And you know what? I'm sitting here asking myself why. Who asked for another one? Because last time I checked, Kirby is not the franchise you put on your shoulders when you're trying to sell a brand new console. Kirby is not Mario, Kirby is not Zelda, Kirby is not even Pokemon. Kirby is, and I say this as respectfully as possible, a mid-tier exclusive. Fun at times, charming for the fans, but not the kind of IP that moves systems. Not now, not ever. Let's start with the obvious problem, Direct fatigue. Nintendo knows Directs are hype machines. They know people tune in, react, clip moments, and fill YouTube with reaction videos. But when you start doubling down on the same game with multiple Directs before it's even out, that's not hype, that's desperation. That's Nintendo admitting they don't have enough heavy hitters in the chamber for Switch 2's first year. You can almost feel them trying to manufacture excitement. Look guys, we've got more to show, but the truth is they don't. Because if they really had big surprises, they save them for a general direct that blows us away. Instead, they are spotlighting Kirby again and trying to trick you into something that it's a blockbuster. Now let me be clear, I'm not a Kirby hater. I play Kirby. I had fun with Kirby in the Forgotten Land. It was cute, it was colorful, it had some creativity, but let's be real, it was also forgettable. The kind of game you finish, smile at, and then never think about again. And that's fine. Not every game has to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. But when Nintendo tells me this is their big holiday push, that Kirby is somehow going to carry the Switch 2 into Christmas, sorry, I don't buy it. Yes, I might get a kick out of racing as Meta Knight for a few matches, but is it really worth $70? Is that the reason to go out and buy the Switch 2 if you don't already own it? Absolutely not. Let's get to the heart of it. System sellers, every console needs them. There are games that make you say, I have to own this system. For the NES, it was Mario. For the SNES, it was Mario World and Zelda. For the N64, it was Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, and Mario 64. For the Switch 1, it was Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. Now tell me, does anyone really believe Kirby Air Riders, or whatever branding they want to slap on it, is going to be that game? No chance. It's not a killer app. It's not a run to the store and buy a console right now game. It's filler. A holiday filler slot Nintendo is stuffing with pink football charm because they've got nothing bigger ready. And that's not really the only insult here. Remember when people said Mario Kart World was a big Switch 2 launch title? Yeah, how's that going? It's practically dead already. Why? Because the game just didn't have enough content. And the only reason why people bought it was because you were able to get it bundled in for $50, which is what the game is technically worth. But no, they sit here, give you this illusion of a value sale when they sit here and make the base game $80, but then have it bundled in for $50. The game is not worth $50, or it's not worth $80. It's actually worth $80. So when people say, but Vigilante, Nintendo already gave us a system seller of Mario Kart World, I laugh because that's not a real system seller. That's Nintendo robbing you blind while smiling to your face. That's why, yes, a lot of people bought it because they thought they were getting a deal, and that's why it's pretty much dead right now. Here comes the uncomfortable truth. Nintendo hasn't released a real system seller yet for Switch 2. Not one. They've had hype moments, sure. Metro Prime 4 got people excited. The Fire Emblem game, that's going to get people excited, but those two games are just not system sellers. They don't generally sell enough to make them a system seller. And then Pokemon is, but with the new Pokemon, we just found out that we're getting a $30 expansion that's really just cut content. None of these games are here now, and none of them are carrying the holiday season, unfortunately. What we actually got is Kirby. Nintendo shoving Kirby down your throat as if he's the savior of the Switch 2. And I'm sorry, but no matter how many times you air a direct, no matter how many exclusive gameplay segments you show, Kirby is not going to be a system seller. And then there's the price. Let's not forget what Nintendo is doing here. You're not getting Kirby Air Riders for $40 or $50. No, this is a Switch 2. This is premium gaming. That means it's going to be $70 standard. And then they're probably going to sit here, give you some DLC a couple months afterwards that's really just cut content, throw another $20, and you're actually going to be paying $90 for the game. Think about it, $90 for Kirby, just like what you're doing with the DK Bonanza situation, or worse, $100 for the new Pokemon game. $70 for a game that, let's be honest, most people will beat in under 20 hours and never touch again. Probably gonna be under 10 hours most likely. Compare that to what PlayStation or PC players are getting at the same price. Sprawling open worlds, photorealistic graphics, massive online ecosystem, and Nintendo's out here charging the same for a pink puffball racing game that unfortunately not everybody's excited for. I think Nintendo knows that people are not just hyped for Kirby Air Riders. They can read the room, they can see the comments, they can see the sales charts from past Kirby titles, but instead of admitting that Kirby is a mid-tier exclusive at best, they're doubling down with another direct, trying to force feed us hype that just isn't there. Now, I've seen the fanboys out in full force already saying, oh, they must have more to show, don't worry, the next direct will change everything. Yeah, I've heard that song and dance before. You want proof? Look no further than Mario Kart World. People said the exact same thing. Wait for the next direct, they'll show more, and what did we actually get? Nothing that justified an $80 price tag, nothing that screamed system seller, nothing that felt like the next big thing. Everything we saw in that direct we had already seen. So forgive me if I don't buy it this time. Forgive me if I don't believe that another round of trailers and another scripted developer interview with Sakurai is suddenly going to transform Kirby into the holiday blockbuster Nintendo wants it to be. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit, this game just doesn't have hype. And no matter how many times the fanboys scream into the void that it'll sell well, the energy just isn't there. You can shout sales predictions all day, but hype isn't manufactured by repeating talking points. It's built by genuine demand, by players saying, I need that game now. Kirby doesn't generate that feeling. He never has. He's lovable. He's iconic in his own way, but he's not a heavy hitter, and Nintendo trying to position him as the holiday anchor only exposes how empty their first year of Switch 2 really is. And let's talk about the nonsense. They're banking on Sakurai's name alone to sell this game. I'm sorry, but Sakurai's name isn't going to magically generate the hype Nintendo wants. Slapping Sakurai's name on a mid-tier title doesn't elevate the game. It just proves Nintendo knows they don't have confidence in it standing on its own. Listen, Nintendo, you picked the wrong game, period. If you wanted a holiday system seller, you had the answer right in front of you. Pokemon. Pokemon is the only series you could have rolled out this holiday season and guaranteed millions of consoles sold overnight. That's the game you push. That's the franchise you bet on, because Pokemon moves units like nothing else in your catalog at this very moment. But instead, you went with Kirby. No matter how many directs you air, no matter how many trailers you cut, no matter how many times you try to sell us, this is the one. It's not. It's filler. It's an in-between game, the kind of title you play for a few days or weeks while you wait for the real heavy hitters, the Zeldas, the Metroids, the big Pokemon releases to finally arrive. And speaking of Metroid, why didn't we get a Metroid Direct instead? Metroid Prime 4 deserves more attention. That's a franchise people have been begging for, crying out for years. That's a series with hype, with history, with credibility. But instead of spinning a spotlight there, Nintendo chooses Kirby, a baffling choice that screams, we don't have the big guns ready. So here's a more pink puffball content instead, which most likely we're not going to see nothing new. And that brings us to the bigger picture, because what Nintendo is doing here is bigger than Kirby. It's a strategy of smoke and mirrors. They're padding their release calendar with second-tier franchises. They're dressing them up with fancy directs, flashy trailers, and scripted hype segments, pretending these are main events. They're charging premium prices for mid-tier experiences, and they're relying on nostalgia, fanboy spin, and the illusion of value to keep the hype alive. But here's the problem. You can only run that playbook for so long. Eventually people start waking up. Eventually even the diehards have that moment where they say, hold on, why am I paying $70 for a Kirby game when I could rent it on Gamefly, beat it in a week and send it back? And that's exactly what I'm telling you to do. Don't reward this strategy. Don't pay full price for Kirby Air Riders. Don't let Nintendo convince you that a mid-tier exclusive is suddenly worth top-tier money. If you're curious, fine, rent it. That's what I'm gonna do. Gamefly's got you covered. $28 a month, 2 games at a time, and you'll probably play 3 games in a single month. That's value. That's smarter than dropping $70 to $100 for a one-and-done experience you'll shelve after a weekend. Nintendo needs to be taught the hard way that fun isn't enough anymore. That charm alone doesn't justify premium pricing. That if they're going to charge $70, they need to deliver a value, performance, and content, and until they do, none of us should buy it. And no, I'm not sponsored by Gamefly, okay? I just really love their service. So let me leave you with my final verdict. Another Kirby Direct, not hype, not excitement, not a system seller. It's a distraction. It's Nintendo waving a shiny pink puffball in front of your face, hoping you don't notice the lack of a true heavy hitters on Switch 2. I'll play it, I'll review it, I'll probably even enjoy a race or two as Meta Knight, but I'm not paying full price. I won't pretend this is the holiday blockbuster Nintendo wants it to be, and I sure as hell won't let the fanboys gaslight me into thinking Kirby suddenly belongs in the same conversation as Mario, Zelda, or Pokemon, because it doesn't, and deep down, you know it doesn't. So do the smart thing, rent it, don't buy it, save your money, demand better, and until Nintendo starts delivering the kind of system sellers that justify their hype and their price tag, I'll be there, calling it out. And now it's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Carlos Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Mattbox 94, Shane Milkman, Oh No Is Justin, Brian Payne, Andy Riz, J Wesby 65, C Stars Piplup, Maximus 2400, John Molina, Dustin 360, That PlayStation Gamer, The Gaming Rip, Raymond YouTube 1, Brian Abraham, Stephen Ramy, Vetful Zexel, Wooden's Throne, Matthew Buckley, Byron Morse, King Paco Nintendo Lover, AB Gator 2000. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew. Well, that's the end of the video. If you truly enjoyed it and want to support the channel, why not consider becoming a member? It's just $1 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive badges and emotes, plus shout out the end of each video. And hey, once the list gets too long, we'll turn it into a full credit roll so everyone still gets their moment to shine. Also, don't forget to check out the exclusive Vigilante merch. Rep the brand, support the channel, and look good doing it. And of course, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow. I'm really trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really need your help. And also, if you want to check me out live, I go live every Monday morning around 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, guys, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're